So, hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Codersarts. So, basically, in this episode, we are going to talk about like a project's demo, or maybe most of the is in this series of the video, our developer explain what are the projects they have built, and based on what are the projects detail, what are the technical aspect, and moreover, we will try to get more insightful information from the projects along with the discussion. Also, more like this project is more like showcasing the core feature. Okay, so one of the team member, Pratibha, will explain today what the she has built. And okay, so I'm inviting Pratibha to explain what are the projects she has built, and along with our discussion will start. Okay, so hi Pratibha. So now you can explain your code first, or maybe you can present a screen. So either is okay with you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Okay.
Mm.
So is my screen visible?
Yes, yes, visible.
Okay. So the problem statement of this project is that we have to develop an interactive dashboard using R Shiny.
Mhm.
And in that dashboard, we want to show some statistics about the Uber trip data that we have been given.
Okay,
Yeah,
more.
it's just like a user-friendly tool for visualizing the data so
Mhm.
that at a glance only we are able to understand some necessary statistics.
Okay, so basically this project is, building the dashboard if for
Yeah.
what are the database provided, right? So based on in this project.
Okay. So the data that has been provided is something like this.
Mm,
So this is the Uber trip data where the fare of the trip has been given along with
mm,
the pickup time and the location and time of the year, day of the week, and all these features. Apart from that, a few more data sets have been given for particular months. For example, here it is for April and August. In there, what we are shown is just the date time and
mm,
the location, that is the latitude and longitude,
mm.
and the base information of these taxis.
Okay,
So, using
so
this data, we have to build a dashboard.
okay, okay. So basically, you are going to build a dashboard or given data. So is there
Yeah.
any parameter, or like what are the columns you are going to select, or maybe any random you are?
Okay, we'll discuss that one by one
Mm,
when we are actually coming to that part in the code.
okay.
Okay.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, go one by one. Okay.
Okay, so first of all, we have to import some libraries. Okay,
Mm,
so for example, here tidyverse is there for data manipulation, and then we have to import Shiny as well because the web application we are going to make is by making use of Shiny.
mm,
And then for making plots, we have imported a few libraries like ggplot2 to make our custom plots and plotly to make our plots a little bit interactive. Apart from that, we have also imported the leaflet library, which helps us to draw maps.
okay.
Okay. Now, after importing the libraries, we are reading the data from a CSV file and storing it into variables.
Mm,
And after that, once we have checked out our data and its formats, we move forward with the utility functions that we will require in order to integrate in the web application later. So this is the function here for the
mm,
first plot. Okay, now if I'm to run it here, it should not take that much time.
okay.
So I've run the function here.
Mm,
Now to this function, we have provided a parameter called choice. That is the
mm,
choice of the month.
okay.
So as you can see here, if to this function I'm providing, okay, I have to run all the code. Sorry.
Okay.
If you want, I can start again.
Yes, yes, you can, but I think first we have to run all those library, then this function will work, right? So you just try
Yeah,
to say
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
So now, as you can see, so this
Yeah.
is the plot here
Mm,
for the
okay.
month of July,
Mm,
and this shows the average fare per day of the week for July. So, for example, here you can see on Monday,
mm,
there was approximately $10 that was the average fare, and here on Thursday it was something around $11. So, this is the kind of graph that this function is going to plot. Okay, so we'll be just putting in the month as the parameter, and for that particular month, the average fare per day would be displayed. So, and to make it interactive here, we have made use of the Plotly library, using which we are able to add this kind of tooltip, as you can see here.
Okay.
Also, there is this option to select and deselect the days as per
Mm,
requirement. Let's say if you are only interested in viewing the average fare for Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday, so
mm,
you can just deselect all the other month days of the week as well. So this brings in the interactivity to our ggplots. If
mm,
this particular graph was only made with ggplot, then there would not have been this kind of interactivity in it. But using Plotly, we
mm.
have added the tooltip and all these functionalities.
Okay. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. And similarly, we have made another function.
Mm,
I'm running that as well.
mm,
Okay. So that was the previous graph was for days of the week, and this is for the pickup hour. Like there are 24 hours in a day. So for
mm,
each hour, the average fare has been displayed in this graph. You can see that for the month of April,
mm,
during the hour from 9 to 10, that
mm,
is 9 to 10 a.m., the average fare was around $11. So this is same way here. Here also you can see that there is a tooltip,
mm,
and there is selection option in here as well. You can select and deselect the hours according to your need.
mm.
And the same way here, the normal plot is being made using the ggplot too, but using Plotly we have introduced this kind of interactivity in here.
Okay.
After that, for the next plot, we are using this data, this set of data, that is particularly that was given for months here.
Mm,
We saw it here as well. So in just in order to select the correct month, we have to write some if and else conditions as well. So this function is for that only, just to get relevant data frame.
okay.
After that, here we are implementing clustering. In order to understand this better, it is better to visualize this app. So let me just run this and talk about it in the app.
Okay.
It will take a little while.
Okay. So you are trying to run. It will open new app or in the
Yeah,
same.
the app will open in a new window. Okay,
Okay.
so we'll be able to see the code as well.
Mm,
So if we'll talk in reference to the app, that would be much better in order for you to understand.
okay.
Okay, so in this app, there are three tabs. Each tab is going to display some set of graphs. In the
Mm,
first tab, there are two graphs that we are showing that we
mm,
have discussed so far. That is average fare per day of the week and
mm,
for pickup hours. So here there is a functionality to choose the month of choice.
mm.
And let's say we have chosen August. So now the functions are working at the back end and it will reflect here. So now this data is for August.
Okay.
Okay. So
Mm,
now it is a very better way of visualizing. See, visualizing the data helps us to gain insight at a glance. If we were to look at the table, like the raw
mm,
data that we were given, then we may not have been able to just determine that, okay, the average fare is 10.93. So that is the purpose of these kind of dashboards.
mm,
So coming to the next plot here, we can choose a month. Again,
mm,
let's go with August. Change here the time as well.
mm.
It will take a little while for the map to appear since it
Okay.
is a geographical map. Until then, we can discuss here.
Okay.
Yeah, the clustering function. So in this kind of data here,
Hmm.
we have been given the date, time, and the location, and based on these locations, we are going to divide the locations into different clusters. So when we were developing this algorithm, we were
Hmm.
using the elbow method to determine the best number of k, for the k means clustering.
Hmm.
So we found that 15 clusters was enough to cluster this kind of data. So we
Hmm.
have hard coded it here, that we will be creating 15 clusters out of this kind of data. Now, this function here, till this part, is just
Hmm.
manipulating the data according to our need, and after that performing k-means clustering. When the k-means clustering is done, we are accessing the cluster centers and their labels.
Okay.
Just in order to label the actual positions here, that is, in here there will be one more column that will be added called labels, and
Hmm.
their clusters will be assigned in them. Now to this leaf draw function. This function actually is where we are going to make the map, which
Hmm.
is visible here.
Hmm. So these are different cluster. What is that?
Yeah, I'm just coming to it. It's just
Okay.
the map has not appeared. It's a little bit slow in rendering, but I think you can see that the cluster centers are being marked as the red tag here.
Okay.
Okay,
Hmm.
and if you hover over the cluster center, you will see the tooltip. This is cluster number 6, and you can
Hmm.
see that the center part of this cluster. Okay, then basically, I think it is visible now,
Hmm.
right? So
Yes. Yes.
yeah, yeah. So this is visible now. Here you can see that there are some polygon shapes that are also defining the clusters along with the data points that are here. The data points are also colored differently. If I will be able to zoom it in, you can see that different clusters have been assigned different color. And if you'll
Hmm.
hover over the tooltip here at the center, you can
Hmm.
see that some information is being displayed. That is the number of the cluster, the latitude and longitude of its center point, that is cluster center, and
Hmm.
the number of trips that it is showing. So you can see that cluster 12 is showing 272 trips. These are all those trips, and you can see on the map like where was the pickup of these
So
trips.
okay. So hold a second. So what are the cluster? So basically area. How we are dividing?
Cluster is actually a group of certain trips, okay, that are
Hmm.
similar. That is this polygon, you can see this shape here. This
Hmm.
is representing one cluster.
Hmm.
All the data points that would fall in this particular boundary will be
Hmm.
considered as one cluster. And then there are different such clusters available here. You can see that cluster 2, that is being shown as orange here.
Hmm.
So if any point is not inside here
Hmm.
in the polygon, then
Hmm.
it is not going to be included in number cluster number 2. Okay, then it would
Hmm.
have been into some other cluster to which it
Hmm.
is very near.
Hmm.
And the same way you can see, if I'm able to like zoom it in here,
Hmm.
you will see that there are a number of clusters. These different color you can see.
Hmm.
You may
Yes.
not
Yes.
be able to see the polygon very clearly, but the color would like
Okay.
help you to distinguish between these
Hmm.
two things. So all this functionality that we are able to see here, we have defined in this leaf draw function here.
Hmm.
Okay. So all the clusters, see again in this function, we are making use of the clustering function that we defined above here, to
Hmm.
which we are passing in the data frame and the particular earth. This are actually we are setting from here in this slider.
Okay.
Yeah. So all the coloring and all the polygon shapes that we are able to see, and the tooltip and everything is inside this function
Okay.
till this point. Then these are the colors that we have assigned for all the 15 clusters.
Mhm.
And here we are drawing this map. So the leaflet library offers different kind of maps. Maybe you can see it here in this window. This is the documentation page. This is one of the maps in leaflet library. Okay, so instead of that kind of map, we could have used this as well. So like you can check out this library for different kind of maps that it gives out. And again, there is this documentation page for ggplot2 as well. You can check it out
Mhm.
and learn how to make the different kind of plots that we have made here.
Okay.
Yeah. So also I would like to mention that here we have hard coded the clusters to be 15, but
Mhm.
we can make it variable as per the need as well, by
Mhm.
making use of certain methods like elbow method or silhouette scores. So
Mhm.
according to the data, as and when the data is changing, by making use of those kind of evaluation metrics, we can set or we can determine an optimal number of k for this kind of clustering algorithm. And
Okay.
it's not necessary to just hard code it always. So that
Okay.
is
Okay.
there. After that,
Mhm.
like this was one of our graph, and then here there is this, in this third tab again
Mhm.
we are showing this, that is number of trips on pickup hours. Again here you can see there is a tooltip available.
Mhm.
It is not showing up right now, but you can see that
Okay.
March is being highlighted here.
Mhm.
And then if you want to see the data for April, then the highlighted part will be showing it. Okay, so that is how we can make the plots to be interactive. It is highlighting the required month here.
Mhm.
So these were the three plots.
Okay.
Yeah, after we are like done with writing the code for these three plots and like defining the function around them, then we
Mhm.
come to the r shiny dashboard part here.
Mhm.
Here what we are doing is we are just setting the tabs, these three tabs, as you can see, plot 1, plot 2 and plot 3. Okay,
Mhm.
and then
Mhm.
we are just defining the body for these two plots. Like for example, in the first plot we have one input like a drop down and two boxes to show the graph, right? So here we
Okay.
have one select input panel for months, and then there are
Mhm.
two boxes to host the two graphs that we have built. And just like this for the second page also, we are defining the box and the input panel,
Mhm.
where we have the leaflet map.
Okay.
Yeah, here
Okay.
the box is there, you can see, and then there is an input panel for selection of the
Mhm.
month, and then there
Mhm.
is a slider input here. So that is how we are defining the body of the dashboard here. After that, we are just passing the functions to the server to render our plots. So this is how we are rendering our first plot. And then
Mhm.
here we are rendering our second plot as well. And in the third plot, which was initially a very normal GG2 plot, sorry,
Mhm.
ggplot2 plot. So
Mhm.
in that also, we have added the reactivity in the server itself. So the highlight part that we were able to see in this plot here is actually being added here. And
Mhm.
that's it. The app is ready and you can just run the code now. So it is a very easy actually app, the Shiny,
Mhm.
to build it.
Mhm.
And that's how
Okay.
we can make an interactive dashboard. You can choose, you can add more graphs to it, any kind of visualization that you want to add. Just you need to define the body and make a function
Mhm.
for it. And if you are going to use some filters, then
Mhm.
obviously the parameter should be passed, like those filters should be passed as a parameter to the function, so that on clicking we can link it in the server function.
Okay. Okay. So the best feature of R sign is basically, you can also open any app along with, code level visualization you want to
Yeah,
see, right? So
Basically, see, here this we can host on the web. It is an web application. So
okay.
while developing, we can see the code as well, and we can see that with actually Python as well. When we are
Mhm.
making web applications using Django or Flask, then at that time
Mhm.
also we are able to see the coded back.
Okay. So what is the complexity of this? So what is complexity of this one? Like is it's for beginner, intermediate, or maybe it's for business users? For like basically, what are the audience or target audience for this project? Like whom should go with this one? Like who will should work on this type of projects or this type of
Okay. Okay. So basically, here the data was actually very well pre-processed, so
Hmm.
we didn't have to do much here. But
Hmm.
if the data is, not in a good shape, then first of all we'll have to pre-process it, and that remains one of the complex cities. Okay.
Hmm.
That remains one of the complexities because it depends from data to data and what kind of shortcomings it is having.
Hmm.
And data pre-processing in any machine learning task is a very extensive part,
Hmm.
so that can be one of the complexities. After that, I think if somebody is a beginner
Hmm.
and have a basic knowledge of ggplot2 graphs, then they
Hmm.
can maybe just make static plots, okay, instead of making it interactive like this.
Hmm.
And if somebody is like intermediate level at coding, then they can
Hmm.
go for like they can try out ggplotly as well, because it is not that difficult to understand.
Hmm.
And clustering part may be a bit difficult for a few people who are not familiar with machine learning.
Hmm.
Okay, so that
Hmm.
can be one complex thing about this. And after that, how to integrate all these different functions in order for that for the app to work may
Hmm.
be complex. Okay, so in general, it is not that difficult, but
Hmm.
bringing it all together may be difficult for a few people. So if somebody wants to try it out, I would suggest that they should break down their code in different parts
Hmm.
and then try to later integrate it. So you'll need
Okay.
to think before writing your code. Like you'll have to design all this
Hmm.
stuff, that okay, I'm going to make these kind of plots. The outline is going to be like this, so that you can code accordingly.
Okay. And so what is the part of machine learning in this project? So what are the part of machine
The
learning? Only
clustering here, where we
okay.
are implementing k-means clustering. This
Hmm.
is actually a machine learning algorithm, unsupervised machine learning algorithm here,
Hmm.
where we are based on the latitude and longitude, that is the location, we are trying to cluster the trips. So all the similar locations that are near the center, chosen center, would
Hmm.
be clustered together, as you could see in the map as well, that
Hmm.
near the center, okay,
Hmm.
like all the points that were closest to that center in that polygon were
Hmm.
considered as one cluster, right? So that
Yes. Yes.
is being done like automatically by making use
Hmm.
of k-means clustering.
Hmm. Yeah. So I got the some like the interesting fact about our sign is basically other than visualization, like the first part, like you can uh, draw any visualization, right? Second part is you can also implement any machine learning algorithm. Third part, also you can launch that web interfaces, right? So these things. So I think these 3 point I'm just getting like very good things, in
Yeah,
our
and the
signing.
fourth point is like, okay, apart from the coding part that is very developer specific, but the
Hmm.
output is going to benefit actually everyone, not just
Okay.
developers, but
Hmm.
anybody who is having basic understandings of how to read a graph
Hmm.
can
Hmm.
directly just use that graph and
Hmm.
understand the okay, average fare was this for this month. So
Hmm.
if you are working in a team and you want to share the data, and you don't want, you not everybody can just if you are not familiar with the data on day to day basis, then you may
Hmm.
not be able to understand okay, what is going on here in this, right? But if you
Yeah.
see it like this way, in a visualization, then things become more clear in a lesser amount of time. So that is also an advantage here, and it's just not because of our shiny. In general only visualizations are used for this purpose.
Yes, it's also
Yeah.
because visualization, going to help businesses and maybe business person,
Yes,
whoever
yes.
handling this
Actually,
web.
everybody wants to now see results, and
Mhm.
the best way for people to
Yes.
see statistics in real time is by making use of visualizations. So
Yes. Yes.
you can see these days everybody is showing their data in very nice graphics. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. So maybe so basically, what are the use cases for this one? Like, so as an end user will be, like who will the so basically any businesses, basically we have
It can
created
be
for.
used actually anywhere, wherever people are
Hmm.
analyzing their data.
Hmm.
It can be integrated, like in shops as well. If
Hmm.
somebody is interested in their analyzing their sales over month or years,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
like it is very like custom situation here. Um, you can say that these kind of dashboards can be, tailor made as per the
Hmm.
requirement. Let's say
Hmm.
apart from shops, even if in our team we want
Hmm.
to see the employee rating and all these stuff, so
Hmm.
we can just use dashboard for that as well. And there are, like, for different businesses and in different industry, there are some
Hmm.
specific cases for each.
Hmm.
And like visualization can be used anywhere there is data. Yeah.
Yes, yes, maybe anything like businesses want to take glance, or they want to insight of the data, like how
Yes.
how many sales we have done in last month, or what are
Yes.
the things we lost, profits,
Yes.
or anything, sales, or
Even in
anything.
medical sector also, it can be used to
Hmm.
keep the patient count. Like everybody knows that during COVID, this thing
Hmm.
was being followed, that uh, everyday cases were being,
Hmm.
calculated, and it was being displayed in the news as well. So at
Hmm.
that time also, we had quite a lot of apps showing
Hmm.
the number of active cases, confirmed cases, and
Hmm.
deaths and
Yes, yes.
all. So
Hmm.
yeah, it can be used almost in any sector.
Hmm. Yeah, basically this is not confined with industry or any
Yeah,
specific
yeah,
thing,
it's
because
not confined to industry.
because wherever the data is available, so we can build this visualization. And if you want to not going to just like actually go to each cell on and you want to get idea what are the things are going to happen. But still you can, if there is hundreds columns or hundred rows, you will not able to think what is going
Yeah,
around
and
that, what are
100
the.
columns is like very basic. Real data is, the big data
Mhm.
is actually so big that we won't ever
Yes.
be able to understand it in the form of tables.
Yeah,
So
I'm just giving. I was just explaining like what are the
yeah.
human capacity, because as a human we
Hmm.
cannot correlate the hundred columns or
Yes, yes,
hundred rows,
yes,
right?
that
So
is
that,
a given.
yeah, yeah. So that's why this type of plot or any visualization is needed, right? So it may be R shiny or maybe anything businesses needed based on
Yeah, there
their.
are many actually
Mm,
apps
mm,
or platforms where we can make such dashboards. Like people who are not familiar with coding can
mm.
make use of platforms like Tableau or Power
Okay.
BI to visualize
Mm,
their data.
mm.
And if
Okay.
people are not familiar with R, they can
Mm,
make use of Java and Python
okay.
as well.
Mhm. Okay, okay. So Pratibha, so what do you suggest? Like, so this type of visualization, are the student are using their academic level for assignments or getting the idea, or basically this type of projects is basically developer working in company or businesses are needed. So what you're suggesting? Basically, this type of project person are more interested.
Um, if it comes to interest, then anybody who is
Hmm.
showing interest can learn it. Students can
Hmm.
also learn it, but I have not seen it like being implemented during my school time. So I
Okay.
don't know about these days if it is being introduced to the school. But
Hmm.
yeah, I, from my personal experience, I would say that it is for developer level.
Hmm. And also, I thinking like if the person is going to more specialize in visualizing, right? So this type of complexity they want to work, right? But as a machine learning developer, machine learning engineer, so I think they need basic understanding of the visualization they use for only for algorithms. What are the different type of matrices? What are their predictions, or maybe any evaluations? They
Yes.
basically right? So yeah.
Yes, they
So
need
and
to
also.
know some kind of programming language at least if they want
Mhm.
to create these kind of graphs, and not just programming language, but
Mhm.
different libraries that help in creating these kind of graphs as well.
Okay. Okay, okay, fine. So, okay, so last, not last, there is other question. So, what are the key point, or we can say someone one will learn from this project? So, what are learning of this project?
Okay, first of all, you'll learn to manipulate your data according to the
Mhm.
need. Okay,
mm,
because in the
mm,
functions that we have defined here, I have not covered it in here, but
mm,
we are actually like correcting the data types. Like when we are
mm,
working with the datetime variables, we are
mm,
changing its
mm,
format, and from
mm,
that we are extracting the number of hours and the number of
mm,
weeks as well, although it is
mm,
also given in the data. But in
mm,
some cases, like here, only the date time is being given, so we'll have to extract the number of days from this as well, and we have done it in here. So I
mm,
think data manipulation is what you learn from it.
mm,
After that, in this particular project, we are using clustering, although it may not be necessary to use
mm.
clustering or any machine learning algorithm in while you are making dashboards. So that is
Okay.
not very important, but according to the need, like in this project, we do needed this, so we made use of this. So if I'm talking about this particular project, then yeah, you'll learn clustering as well,
Mm,
and after that we'll just it's all shiny. Okay,
okay.
so integrating everything, all the graphs and all into the shiny app, creating its
Mm,
body, and then
mm,
passing the functions to the server. That
mm,
is all that you are going to learn in this particular project.
mm. What are the most challenging part of this project? Challenging part?
The most challenging part was to get the clustering integrated with the map.
Okay.
Yeah, so to
Mm,
display the clusters on the map along with
mm,
those polygons and all, that
mm,
was the most difficult part. After that, it was for me R Shiny, because
mm,
it was one of my first projects with that library.
mm,
So had to learn quite a lot of things in order to get things going. But
mm.
now that I see it, it's not that difficult. It's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was recommending all the people who just watch the video again and again, so you will get the more insightful information, like what are the things we can done from this type of projects, or maybe if you're not more developers specific, want to study developer specific, so also you can get idea what are the different technology going to happen, and what things can be built using this technology. So there is too many things. Okay, so I'm just giving like to whom this might be helpful, and moreover specifically this type of project, if you are a business owner, or maybe you are just if you have some data, right? It might be you're a college student, right? Or maybe you want to get some, either maybe you're doing research, or maybe you want to get some insight from the data. So this type of project is this type of visualization is very easy for you. Okay, and you don't need to deploy to any server, or you have to use, if you're using some type of legacy system, like Excel, so that you have to do many tasks or many type of work. But at least if you understand basic level coding, so you can easily build this type of dashboard. It's very interactive and very interesting, and also you can add many markups, or many different type of colors based on your needs, and or more especially you are a machine learning developer, so also you can add, you already we shown you like how we can use some machine learning algorithm to based on the data part, and also you can do more and more clearing the data pre-processing part of data manipulation. Okay, so that's all for these projects, and so I hope you will get the more insightful from this type of project. And if you have any doubt, or maybe if you're working this type of projects, you can directly contact us. Our developer will work with you, like one by one session. You can connect with our developer to complete your project, or maybe if you need complete project, we can also help in that part. Okay, so we helping to all of the person who are working in the programming, programming web development, either you are working on AI/ML domain. So we are always to help you. Okay, so what are your either you are a student or developer, or maybe a startup company, or maybe AI/ML enthusiast, or as a learner, you want to build this type of project or work in this type of project. Okay, so I hope we have covered everything in this video, everyone. Okay, so if you have any doubt or anything you want, also if you want to recommend us, so you can also comment down below. We will try to reach out to you, not directly reach out to, but try to uh, reply your comment in below. Okay, so that's all everyone. Thank you so much for watching this video till end.